Hello everyone, Dorrani here from VG247 and I've been playing the Overwatch 2 PvP beta. I've played a few hours now and noted down a few quick thoughts during my play session. The PvE side of the game, which will be a big part of Overwatch 2, is not present in this beta, so I can't speak on that right now, but here are my thoughts and impressions of the Overwatch 2 PvP beta. So I think the immediate thing people will notice upon first glance of Overwatch 2 is that it looks very similar to Overwatch 1. Even though the models and textures have been updated, it is hard to tell the difference upon first glance. Because we're playing on a few of the same maps with the same heroes. You know, I couldn't blame you if you looked at this gameplay and then assumed it was Overwatch 1, but it most definitely looks better and is way more optimized. It is 5 versus 5 now instead of 6 versus 6, and 2 less players in a match definitely slows it down a bit and it's less chaotic, which I appreciate because in Overwatch 1 it did tend to get messy at times, but teams are now limited to 1 tank, 2 DPS and 2 healers now, and that 1 less tank per team definitely affects the flow of the game. I will say that the tanks are now way more involved with their changes, which I'll speak about in just a moment, but once the tanks die, you don't have another tank to fall back on, which sort of brings fights to a standstill and makes it hard to push forward sometimes. There's a new hero available to play, her name is Sojourn, and she's a nice addition, but doesn't seem to change the meta too much. After a few games I played with her, she's okay. She has a slide that can cancel into a super jump and a projectile rifle on her left click that charges up her railgun on her right click, and she also has an AoE damage over time ability. Her ultimate overclocks her railgun so the meter automatically fills up so you can fire it in quick succession. There's a new game mode called Push, which is like tug of war on a symmetrical map where players fight over a robot in a central location that pushes towards the enemy base once captured. It definitely fits Overwatch well and it's easy to understand, but it's a very safe game mode that it's not really exciting. There is also 4 new maps: Circuit, Royal, Coliseo, New Queen Street and Midtown. They look really nice and vibrant. I've always liked Overwatch's art style and how they present different countries. There is a ping system now, which is great because not everyone feels comfortable speaking on mics but wants to communicate what they want to do. Every team-based game should have a ping system. They've also done a massive sound overhaul, so the audio is completely different. You'll be surprised how different it makes weapons feel. The added bass or reverb on weapons gives you a placebo feeling that you're doing more.
Escorting the robot.
But it definitely makes a difference. It's the same reason that in Valorant people prefer certain weapon skins to others, because they have different sounds and certain sounds just feel better to shoot. They've updated and changed the timing on a lot of the animations to smooth things out, to remove the clunkiness from a lot of the heroes, and changed abilities that defined heroes, which completely changes those characters' playstyles. For example, Cassidy's stun grenade and then the fanfire right click was his bread and butter in Overwatch 1, but in Overwatch 2 he doesn't have the stun grenade anymore, so you can't rely on that. And that's just one of the smaller hero changes. Some of the hero changes are way more extensive, like Orisa, Bastion or Doomfist. Doomfist is a tank. Now Orisa in particular, oh god, she's just a different hero now. She's gonna see a lot of play and is a good example of what the devs wanted to do to the tanks to give them more utility to fend for themselves, be more impactful and lean more towards being bruisers, which of course makes them more enjoyable to play because no one wants to just sit behind a shield all day. Overwatch 2 feels like one big balance patch instead of something worthy of being titled a sequel. Like, that's not a bad thing, but I think Overwatch 1.5 would have made more sense. But back to the topic of it looking the same as Overwatch 1, yes, that is true, but it feels and plays very different. Overwatch has always led with competitive first and casual second, and anyone who plays esport like games, you know, CSGO, Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege, League of Legends, anyone who plays those games seriously knows how one change to one character or something added or removed from a map can change how the whole game is played. So the difference is there if you're an Overwatch player that, for example, reads all of the patch notes and then adjusts accordingly. But if you're a casual player, which is perfectly fine to be a casual player, you might not be blown away by the changes. Another thing I can't really speak on right now is the team play, because once again, Overwatch casually versus when you're playing ranked is 2 different things. Competitive is all about cooperation, synergies and coordinated pushes. It's always been about, can the attackers pull off a wombo combo to push forward, and then in turn can the defenders counter that wombo combo well enough to keep the attackers back. And right now in this beta, it just feels like a free-for-all. But I'm looking forward to see how it all comes together in the end, with skill-based matchmaking and teams communicating, playing to win when the full game releases. And my final thought, one that I don't think many people are talking about with Overwatch 2, is that it's releasing into a different landscape of games. When Overwatch released back in 2016, it wasn't really contested by any other hero shooter. It was going up against Rainbow Six that came out the following year in 2015, which Rainbow Six in its first year wasn't doing the best, so Overwatch had fair game. But now in 2022, Overwatch 2 has to compete against games that do hero shooters better. Apex Legends, Valorant are miles ahead of Overwatch. Even Rainbow Six Siege stood the test of time and kept updating their game, and now it's in a better place. And while all of the improvements and changes are steps in the right direction and I'm having fun with Overwatch 2, it might be a little too late, because I can't shake the feeling or thought that I'd rather just be playing one of those other hero shooters instead. But yes, those are some quick thoughts on the Overwatch 2 beta. We're going to have more coverage going forward. Make sure you check out VG247.com. Are you playing Overwatch 2 beta currently? Let us know down in the comments what your first impressions are. My name is Dorrani from VG247. Peace out, everyone.